Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. Now, before this video starts, I just want to say real quick, I got a message from a person called Matt Fortin, and he said that he met Emma, the writer of the Life is Strange Dust and Waves comics, and asked her questions about the comic series, and he has been told by her that there will be an arc 3, and that Titan Comics has no plans to stop the series yet. It's still ongoing. But sadly, he knows more stuff but refuses to tell, so I'm not happy that I can't tell you people this, but I'm glad that we actually have confirmation of an Arc 3. I just hope this Matt Thornton isn't lying. Please don't be lying. Like, I'm 100% sure there's going to be an Arc 3, but hopefully what Emma said is true. Like, because, sometimes comic series and that, they get cancelled. Like, the Batwoman one, I remember that. There was controversy around that. It got cancelled because Batwoman was going to marry Maggie something, and there was this big controversy about homosexual wedding, which is bullshit. But anyways, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on this video, okay? So, does Max still have her powers? Now, that is a very interesting video. I don't think I've made one yet, but I'd like to make one now. Now, as we know, the whole premise of Life is Strange 1 is Max's ability to rewind time, and you have to use these powers for the greater good or your own personal gain. Like, even though the gains aren't really personal, like, you do have to use your powers to move around objects, but you can still use the powers for yourself. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but anyways, ever since Life is Strange 1 ended and we've seen the comics, Max hasn't used her powers, at least not intentionally. In the whole point of Arc 1 was she was losing control of her powers, and she had to leave Chloe, go to the transit, and merge all her selves together, and she ended up going to this reality that shined the brightest. She went to the brightest light and merged with it. Well, not merged, but she went into that reality. All the Maxes merged into one, and yeah, and then she was on the beach where she saw Chloe and Rachel. Now, we haven't seen Max in this new issue use all her powers, but I do think that she might have her powers because how else would she be able to see Tristan? It could be because she's from an alternate reality and came into this one that she can see him. Or it could be that she still has her powers but hasn't used them and she can see him, that's why. Now, we know that she's going to use her powers at the end, at the beginning of issue 8, because we see her go to use her powers, which mirrors how she does it in Life is Strange 1 for the first time. Well, almost mirrors it. So, if Max had to use her power, she has to do it to save Tristan, or maybe, like, what if the person that's being pointed the gun at and got shot, what if that person wasn't Tristan, but someone else entirely? I mean, that is a possibility. I mean, those people, Tristan was at the meeting with those people, I believe they were. I'll have to look at it again. And I think it was the person who shot Tristan's friend. She went to prison. So, unless this is some person who's met up with them as well, and they screwed them over big time and cost one of their members of the gang to go to jail to serve 20 to life. But let's just go over what happens if Max doesn't have her powers. She'd shout no, and nothing would happen, and then the people would probably shoot her, and she'd collapse to the ground. The guys would run away, and Max would go to hospitals. Like, maybe in some irony twist of fate, she could end up a quadriplegic like Chloe did. Well, not it's not ironic, but some twisted, because twisted fate or something like that. Because Chloe was a quadriplegic because of Max's actions when she tried to save William, which she did succeed in it, but it came at a cost. Now, if Max doesn't have her powers, then how is she going to, like, save Tristan? She wouldn't be able to. Like, if they shot him and then ran away, Max would have to, like, call 911 and kind of apply pressure to his wound, try to keep him alive. And if Max does rewind time, how far back... I've mentioned how far back she could go, but maybe she could also save Callie. Like, what if she intervenes? Because if you remember, in this issue, towards the very end, Callie ended up ODing and dying. Like, what if Max? And I'm pretty sure that the drugs that she got were from those two guys, because you remember Tristan finds the bag and it's got the gun and the drugs in it. I'm pretty sure that Callie got the drugs from those guys. So Max could go back further and ultimately stop the drug deal from happening, get them arrested earlier on in the story, and so that way Callie and Tristan would be fine. But then that raises the question, is there going to be another storm? Because that's what happened when she saved Chloe's life. But there may not be, because, like, look at Kate, for example. Max had when you choose to save Kate or let her die, literally, it doesn't affect the storm at all. The storm just keeps coming no matter what, because Chloe was its intended target. Like, even if Chloe, I guess, like, if Chloe had died, then Kate wouldn't have killed herself, because we see what happens in the end of the sacrifice Chloe ending. Kate's at the funeral as well. I have no idea why Victoria's there. She can go fuck herself. Yeah, but I guess, like, some people are meant to die, and some people can be prevented from dying when Max uses her powers. She just has to be careful with who it is. So, does Max have her powers in the Waves issue? Yes, I believe she does. And will she use them? I believe so. So anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you all liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.